¡Hola! Hola amigos, bienvenidos a The Other Worlds, bienvenidos a... Supongo que el final, ¿vale? Bueno, como lo dije en el anterior o en el anterior, que estamos en el Tártaro. Y bueno, voy a guardar otra vez por si acaso, aunque ya he guardado, pero bueno. Nada, estoy... Ah, joder, pensaba que era un guardia. Esto lo estoy grabando otro día diferente, por eso lo dejé aquí guardado. Así que, bueno. Vamos allá. Hostia. Mm. Es decir, a lo mejor es como una zona secundaria para pasar o algo. No, ¿verdad? Simplemente esto es como una... de suministros y ya está. Dale, 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 dale. ¿Me han dado 4000 de experiencia solamente por cargármelo? Ah, que se han cargado a mí. Eh. Uy, susto. Vale, me han dado un casco. A ver, ¿es mejor que el que llevo? Este es 33. Joder, este es 53. Que te digo que sí es mejor. Casco defensivo avanzado. Vale, ya si encontrase... Este tiene 29 y este 33. Joder, este tiene 8, por favor. Bueno. Hostia, nuestro personaje es tocho, ¿eh? Vale, ya si encontrásemos una armadura avanzada, ya sería bastante brutal, vaya. Vale, hay que ir para allá. Uy. Hostia, Rodwell.
I'll be damned. I was prepping the studio for our announcement, and here you
Qué
are as a
casualidad
bonus.
que estés aquí.
I heard you'd taken a mechanic under your wing. What's the matter, girl? Couldn't find actual employment?
The captain's treated me right. Better than any of you bored folk ever have. I'm exactly where I want to
Sí me
be.
gusta, mano dura.
Ah, I knew I smelled Monarch when you lot walked in. The stench of sulfur, depression, and desperate bravado is unmistakable.
Madre mía, qué ganas tengo de matarte.
Keep talking, and you'll be smelling iron. Ain't nobody so important I won't put a bullet in him.
When you go off and get yourself shot, try to avoid taking one to the face. I'll want it recognizable to show to my citizens. I'm not in your way, you dullard. You talk to me. You want to go die in a blaze of glory? Be my guest.
¿Perdona? ¿Que voy a morir yo?
Besides,
¿Perdona?
what you're doing here, but Sophia's doing good work up there with Phineas. Your efforts will be in vain.
Grandísima retrucha. Madre mía. Fíjate. No le ha quedado ni el... No se ha quedado ni el... ¿Cómo se llama? Ni el polvillo ese que suelta. Bueno, vale, que sí. Que no me interesa estas cosas. A ver si hay algún objeto o algo, no. Ah, iba a decir cuántas. Bueno. Vale, ya, esto ya me están dando una armadura mejor. 33, 35, vale, de momento es mejor la que tengo. A ver, un segundo, que me voy a curar, ¿vale? ¡Que me matan! ¿Qué pasa? Joder, colega, déjame. Pesadilla de gente. Pero lo que no entiendo es por qué me pone salida del foso si yo realmente no quiero salir. O sea, ya sé que no... Me refiero... Ya sé que no vamos a salir. Es a donde quiero llegar. Vale, estaba mirando un momento la hora. Sofía Acande. Ah, que resulta que esta es la que nos había hablado antes.
You've upset the natural order of things. You've introduced uncertainty, and there is nothing I despise more than uncertainty. Do you imagine you're leading some grand revolutionary army?
No.
You're
Tranquila, solamente soy yo.
I'm going to put an end to your little rebellion, and then I'm going to have you and your associates arrested. The board is the only legitimate power in Halcyon. We are Halcyon. I admit I miscalculated the extent of your influence. The board's plan never accounted for you. This is a mistake I intend to correct.
Vas a morir.
I have Dr. Wells in my custody. Once I've secured his cooperation, I can move forward with the program. I can repair the damage you've done. I can set things right.
Vas a morir.
I'm aware of your propensity for violence. Halcyon is a bloodier place because of you. I take no pleasure in this, you know. I simply have no other option. Leaving you alive is too great a risk. Goodbye, Captain. If you insist. This prison is equipped with an automechanical warden. I've had it programmed to eliminate you on sight and rinse your remains down the
Automecanoide
drain.
carcelero. No pasa nada. Que venga.
And don't worry. I will inform Dr. Wells that you died heroically, or something.
Bueno. Me va a comer lo que viene a ser todo el castigo divino. Ver aquí. Fíjate, eso no me lo esperaba. Hombre, eso ya es trampa, ¿vale? Compañero del metal. ¿Qué puedo ver la pistola? Joder, ya se ha cargado a las dos. Que vienen. Que viene. Madre mía. ¿Qué? ¿Te gusta jugar con juguetitos, eh? ¡Vamos! Claro, sí, sí. Vale. Vamos a calmarnos, ¿vale? Vamos a calmarnos. Un momentito. Qué pesadilla de robots. Oh, vale, un segundo. Fíjate. Madre mía. Ha sido. Qué duro, ¿eh? Ha sido durísimo. Espérate, voy a guardar la partida, ¿vale? Solo por si acaso. Sofía. Madre mía.
Why won't you just...
Hija mía, has durado lo que viene a ser entre poco y nada.
You don't know how glad I am to see you. You did the right thing. Akande was a monster. Her death was much deserved.
96.000 de experiencia.
Long
No está mal.
overdue. And you lunatic, you broke into the board's own fortress just to rescue one doddering old man. You are absolutely...
Ya me lo agradecerás luego cuando salgamos de aquí, ¿vale? Y rescatemos a todos los colonos que hay en la nave de la esperanza.
All in a day's work for you, huh?
Yep.
You've broken the board's stranglehold on this colony, and you saved my life. But there's still so much we have yet to accomplish. You and I are going to have to work harder than ever to save Halcyon. I'm afraid the situation is
No
far
pasa nada.
worse than any of us ever anticipated.
Poco a poco.
I would like nothing more than to celebrate this victory, but we have a serious problem on our hands. Earth has gone dark. We haven't received a single message in 3 years. There's been no communication, no signals.
Desde la Tierra.
Nothing. 2 years ago, the Earth's Directorate's frigate disappeared on their way back to Earth. We don't know what they discovered when they arrived, or if they arrived at all.
So we've got to make do on our own. Seems to me that'll make us stronger in the end anyhow.
You're quite right. We've got no choice but to make do on our own.
You mean we're all alone out here? Really alone?
I'm afraid so, Miss Holcomb. Halcyon is the only home we have left. Returning to Earth is no longer an option. We're in serious trouble, my friend. Do you know what this means for Halcyon? We can't rely on Earth for support anymore. We've been cut loose. We're entirely on our own. Yes, we do. You've done a marvelous thing. You've succeeded where anyone else would have failed.
Hay que revivir a los colonos, ¿eh? Yo no me voy a quedar tranquilo si no revivimos a los colonos.
Starting with the hopes of brightest minds, and then we're going to fix
Ahí
this
está.
damn colony
La reanimación.
one problem
Vamos.
at a time. We're going to need a leader, and I can't imagine a better person for the job than you.
Hombre, por
What do you
supuestísimo que
think,
sí.
friend? Will you help us? I can't tell you how glad I am to hear that. When I revived you, I thought we were going to save this colony all by ourselves. But I was wrong.
La he salvado yo solo,
We
tranquilo.
can't save Halcyon on our own. We're all going to have to pull together somehow. We are not a colony anymore. Our last connection to Earth has been severed. I don't know if we'll survive, but we're going to have to try our best.
Has completado The Other Worlds en cualquier dificultad.
But the
Easy.
stranger that arrived in Halcyon was an unplanned variable. From the moment he landed in Emerald Vale, his actions altered the course of history. The events on Tartarus brought about the end of the board's authority. But the board's mistakes would haunt the colony for decades to come. The damage they left behind would require the work of a generation to repair. Dr. Phineas Wells began reviving a handful of the Hope's colonists. Engineers, scientists, technicians, and intellectuals. They were among the brightest minds the Earth had ever sent out into the stars. The Hope scientists and engineers woke up in a colony descending headlong into total collapse. With no way to return to Earth, they had no
Bueno,
choice
pero ahora al
but to
menos son
band
libres.
together and devote themselves to the
Desde mi
cause
punto
of
de vista ahora
saving
son
Alpha.
libres. No están bajo el
The people of
yugo de la
Halcyon
Junta
were
ni
nothing
la
if
mierda
not
esa, así que...
hardened. In the absence of the board's authority, many of the colony's settlements banded together with a single purpose in mind: survival. Life was especially hard in the years to come. Some towns dissolved by attrition and starvation, but most of them found a way to carry on. In the years to come, Halcyon was forced to reckon with its newfound freedom. The board was gone, and for better or worse, the colony was responsible for
Ahí
its
está,
own
la
destiny.
colonia era responsable de su propio destino.
Left leaderless,
¿Libres?
the people of
Somos
Stellar
libres.
Bay and Amber Heights were slowly but inevitably picked apart by the wildlife of Monarch. Left unchecked, the war on Monarch consumed both MSI and the Iconoclasts. And when the sulfur cloud settled, only stragglers from both factions remained. Some found their way to Sublight, some to Terra 2, and some lived their final years fighting for food in the wilderness. In the end, only the beasts remained. Sublight Salvage adapted to the changes in Halcyon, shifting their business model to suit the times. Their claims of legitimacy were scrutinized, but ultimately
Te cuenta un poco el resumen de todo, ¿no?
Lilia Hagen would continue to protect her family as ruthlessly as ever. The collapse of Edgewater left its workers bereft of any purpose in life. Most of them made their way to Adelaide McDevitt's camp, hoping to ingratiate themselves into her favor. Adelaide accepted only a few to her community. The rest were turned away and likely died of starvation. Nevertheless, Adelaide's camp grew into a well-established town. Adelaide McDevitt refused to cooperate with the ongoing effort to save Halcyon from collapse. A sympathetic deserter stole a copy of her research and delivered it to the Hope's scientists. It is unclear how useful Adelaide's research was. An optimistic estimate suggests her work may have bought Halcyon another few years of survival. Adelaide would never know. She died that winter. Junlei Tennyson fought to protect the Groundbreakers' independence. While the board's influence faded, mechanical difficulties forced her to rely on parts that only
Vamos a verlo todo,
could
tranquilo.
provide. The cost was high, and time would tell if Junlei could balance the work with her aspirations for a better future.
Junlei es la de
The
la chatarrera
rediscovery
esa.
of the Hope and the abandonment of the lifetime employment program forced Byzantium to come to terms with some uncomfortable realities about the state of Halcyon. While Byzantines were reluctant to surrender the luxuries
Hostia,
they'd grown
cuidado.
accustomed to,
Algunos incluso tuvieron que trabajar, cuidado,
gave them little
Putos
choice.
ricos.
Nearly everyone had to
Bizancio,
learn to make do
deberíamos
with less.
quemar esta ciudad a
Some
bombazos.
even had to get jobs. It was a dark time indeed. Life in Halcyon was sobering for Felix Millstone. The grand revolution he dreamed of never came. There was no great awakening for the colony, no celebrations in the streets. There was only the hard, desperate work of trying to repair a broken colony. Felix never had a head for numbers, but if there was labor to be done, he was there to help. Eventually, Felix realized that the work of a revolution was done with two hands. Though Parvati eventually grew comfortable aboard the Unreliable, she never quite came out of her shell. She seemed to prefer the company of Ada to the crew, and she could often be found neck-deep in cables and grease, telling Ada funny stories from her childhood. While the colony fell into chaos, she found an island of relative peace with Ada, and they formed an unusual bond. she decided to remain aboard the
O sea, que se quedó en la nave,
permanently
ingeniera jefe.
as its chief and sole engineer. As hard as she tried to drink them away, Nyoka's memories eventually overcame her. Traveling with the crew served as a constant reminder of the family she'd lost, and so she eventually returned to Monarch to get back to what she found most comfortable: the deep end of a bottle and the far end of a trail.
Volvió a
Few have seen her since.
Bahía Estelar, ¿no?
Travelers often swear they hear her and her
Monarca,
machine
vaya,
gun in
Bahía
the
Estelar.
night, screaming swears and spitting bullets. Before his untimely death, Captain Alex Hawthorne had plans to restore and modify, for combat purposes, a sanitation and maintenance automechanical that he'd found in a state of disrepair in Emerald Vale's scrapyard. That unit remains broken down and forgotten in the unreliable supply closet to this day. Minister Clark was released from house arrest, and his contact with you gave him a sense of renewed purpose and vigor. Once it became clear that no help would be coming from Earth, he threw his considerable efforts and talents into helping.
Esto es un resumen, ¿no? De todo lo que hemos hecho y cómo ha prosperado en el futuro.
Dr. Phineas Wells, he spent his remaining years in his orbital lab. Though he was always haunted by the failures of his past, he was determined to make things right by building toward the future. Dr. Wells was able to revive many more scientists and engineers than he first expected, thanks to the additional batch of chemicals you stole from the Ministry. Wells never forgot about the human lives that were lost in acquiring these chemicals. The revival project was hard and painful work, but in the end, despite limited resources, over half the Hope's colonists were successfully revived. Even after Wells passed away, the Hope scientists and engineers
Murió.
worked night and day to pull Halcyon
Incluso después de que
from the
Wells
brink of
murió,
collapse.
los ingenieros y científicos de la
Their
Esperanza
efforts
trabajaron día
continued
tras
to
día.
this day.
Murió al
Maybe
final.
reason enough for optimism.
Bueno, tiene sentido, vaya.
Dr. Wells laid the groundwork for the project to save the colony, but he would never live to see the fruits of his labor. He passed away a few years later. His work was
Falleció
carried
unos
on
años
by the
más tarde.
scientists and engineers he revived. Life will never be the same in Halcyon. It is widely agreed that the colony has a chance of stabilizing within a generation, owing to the hard work and determination of the surviving colonists. Recovery is a distant goal, and the path is long and uncertain. But the people of Halcyon carry on, determined as ever. And what about you, the unplanned variable in the history of Halcyon? Long after Wells passed away, you carried on his work with more energy, determination, and brilliance than he could ever muster.
Los años siguientes fueron duros, pero la acción sobrevivió gracias a los esfuerzos de los colonos más prometedores de la Esperanza, de los cuales tú eras el mejor.
The greatest of which
No me extraña, literalmente hemos sido nosotros los que ha hecho todo el trabajo. Durante años. La historia de la falible y de nosotros, vaya, de Acblackstyle, el nombre que me puse, va a ser una historia que se contará durante años. Bueno, me gusta realmente cómo ha acabado, siendo libres. Desde mi punto de vista es lo que me ha dado a entender. Hemos acabado siendo libres de la Junta, de todas estas corporaciones que, ¿no? Como una mesa redonda, ¿no? Por decirlo de alguna manera, en la que están todos implicados. La verdad que, bueno, ha estado increíble. Te ha contado la narrativa esta, ¿no? Un poco de la visión, como que han pasado varios años, ¿no? Como que la historia, todo este resumen, como si te lo hubiesen contado 10 años después justamente de terminar, ¿no? De cuando conseguimos salvar al Dr. Wells, que realmente pues ha muerto y esas cosas, y que a día de hoy seguimos y que, bueno, que está prosperando bastante bien. El tema de la Tierra, pues seguramente haya un The Other World 2 en algún momento, el año que, bueno, iba a decir el año que viene, en 2020 lo dudo bastante, pero quizás dentro de un par de años, 2022, 2023, pues posiblemente haya un The Other World 2, y bueno, pues, en fin, pueden ocurrir muchas cosas. Nada más, no puedo decir otra cosa. Me ha encantado, me ha encantado. Han sido 20 episodios, que pensaba que se iba a ir a más, pero realmente 20 episodios está bastante bien para una serie de tales dimensiones, en el sentido de misiones secundarias, de que puedes perderte e irte para el lado, así que realmente está bastante bien. Me ha gustado el resumen final, dándome, por lo menos a mí, no sé si vosotros tendréis el mismo parecido de... Bueno, de que básicamente somos libres, básicamente. Nos hemos quitado ese increíble peso de todas estas corporaciones asquerosas. Y por lo demás, nada más. Un juego que merece muchísimo la pena jugarlo. Yo simplemente porque lo estoy grabando y porque lo subo a YouTube, pero lo más probable es que si yo lo jugase solo, o sea, si no grabas este juego, pues obviamente seguiría jugando, haría misiones secundarias, estaría súper chetadísimo, pero como el objetivo que yo quería era hacer lo que es la historia principal, pues básicamente las misiones principales, pues tampoco quería básicamente tirarme por ahí 25 millones de años. Nada más, no puedo decir otra cosa, me ha encantado, juego que realmente cuando salió en el E3 de este año, si no me equivoco, el del 2019, que se presentó que salía para este año, la verdad que en el momento que yo primero lo vi, antes de que saliese el nombre de The Outer Worlds, yo pensaba que era Fallout. Literalmente, aunque ponía Obsidian, no es nada, no tiene nada que ver con Fallout, ¿vale? Pero realmente cuando lo vi desde un primera mano, yo pensaba que era el... ¿Sabéis cuál es el Fallout 2? El New Vegas, ¿vale? O sea, yo cuando lo vi dije, ¿esto es una continuación del Fallout? Del Fallout 2, fijaos hasta qué punto, ¿vale? Que luego, bueno, me ha hecho gracia. Tiene muchas cosas de Fallout estéticamente hablando, me refiero. No de animaciones ni personajes, simplemente de cosas visuales. De rollo no tan posapocalíptico como Fallout 2, ¿vale? Pero realmente está bastante bien. Nada más, The Other Worlds. Terminamos. Ha sido una maravilla, no puedo decir otra cosa. No sé cuántas veces lo voy a repetir, pero aquí está. Hemos terminado el juego. No sé qué juego subiré ahora. Seguramente tengo por ahí pendientes el Metro Exodus y el Sunset Overdrive. Así que seguramente uno de los dos suba. Y también tengo pendientes que todavía no me los he comprado, como Resident Evil 2, el Ancestors y el Devil May Cry 5. Tengo un par de juegos pendientes que me gustaría compartir con vosotros. Así que nada más, lo dejamos por aquí y terminamos ahora sí de Other Worlds. Nada más, gracias a todos por los que hayáis visto la serie. A los poquitos que hayáis visto la serie, yo lo subo con todo el cariño del universo, porque es una cosa que me gusta, el hecho de hacer vídeos. Y no puedo decir otra cosa. Y no me enrollo más porque se va a 28 minutazos y voy a morir, ¿vale? Nada más, lo dejamos por aquí ahora sí. Gracias a todos y nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. Vale, pues.